Hi, this is Maryann from Out and About, and I'm here at North Pole Central, aka the Fall River Historical Society, and I'm bringing you some behind-the-scenes look at what Christmas at the Historical Society will look like this December. So let's get started. Let's see what the little elves here are up to, and let's get going. I'm here with head elf, more commonly known as the curator, Michael Martins. Hello, what's up here 2014 at the Historical Society?
We're getting the Historical Society ready for the Christmas season. We open the Saturday before Thanksgiving, so this is sort of crunch week as we finish the decorating for the year.
It's wonderful. By the time people see this, we'll be right into the whole Christmas month of December, so we will have people coming in and out the whole month, and it runs the open house from the 22nd of November right to the end of December, correct?
Yes, we run right through the end of the month. We will be open every day. We're here Saturdays and Sundays from 1 until 5, and then Monday through Friday from 9 until 4:30.
So what we're getting today, folks, is a sneak peek. The elves have not finished their work, so you have to come in to see what the finished product looks like. We have a few little things that we're going to show you, some wonderful previews of the trees, the decorations, the ideas behind it, how this happens. So here we go. How long does the decorating process take you, Michael?
It takes us over a month, actually, and there are always little snags to work out. For example, the lights in this room just went out. So that's something that we'll be working on. We'll have to have that remedied. But it does take us over a month to get all of the decorations ready and to get the trees prepared. It really is a very involved process because we take them to a pretty extreme level here.
Now, who comes up with the theme for the decorations? Because in the past few years that I've been paying a lot of attention, I noticed that every room has a theme, or every tree has a theme. So who comes up with those ideas?
Well, we sort of all do. We do a little brainstorming. This year, I have to say, the theme basically has been one of desperation. Going into it, we had no idea what we were going to do. So we just started opening the boxes and kind of figured it out as we went along. And sometimes I think that's the best thing to do, to be perfectly honest.
So inspiration from desperation.
Exactly.
That's beautiful,
and
actually.
And it works. It works really pretty well. I think sometimes when you're under pressure, you really produce your best work. So I think this year the trees are pretty spectacular.
Excellent. So if we're taking a look at this tree, and this is a beautiful white and silver tree. Does it have a name?
It is. It is. Well, first off, there should be lights on it, and I suspect we probably should have those turned back on. But it's called Symphony in Silver and Snow, and it really is a spectacular tree. It's a 14-footer, and is really pretty impressive.
I noticed there's a little bit of ice down there. Is that for little woodland creatures too?
There is. It's just a nice reflection. I mean, the light reflects in it nicely that you don't see at the moment, but it's a different look for us. Normally this tree is covered with glass ornaments, so we took it completely in a different direction this year.
Now, how many ornaments do you think you have, different styles, just here in the shop?
In the museum shop, we have at least 350 different styles in blown glass. So we have a very large selection available this year.
That's great. We'll be visiting that room because I know you've been working hard to make that a special.
We have a spectacular selection this year across the board with gift items and fashion accessories, etc. So we really do have a lot in the shop this year.
Now, if we look around this room, you see that everything does match. Is there a term for that?
Well, we've tried to do everything en suite so that everything does carry through, so the theme carries through the entire room. And it's particular to this room. We have not done this particular theme in any other room. So we've done the snow, the silver ribbon, which has a nice reverse satin effect, and then the poinsettias, which are encrusted in snow and crystals.
So this room is pretty much complete. Is this?
This room is. It's not totally staged. We still have the tea table to work on. We usually do that at the end of the process. But the decorations themselves have been carried through in this room completely.
It looks absolutely lovely. I bet you'll have a lot of when people walk in this room.
So far, people have come in and looked at it. I think this will be the real showstopper this year. I mean, people are particularly drawn to this tree for whatever reason, but the others are pretty spectacular as well, but I think this will be the one this year.
Excellent. And I know that generally when people walk in this room, they do expect to see the colorful ornaments that you have, the glass ornaments, so this is just so different.
It's very different.
That.
And for years people have just said they love seeing the German glass ornaments on this large tree, and we've done that for years. But to be perfectly honest, we're getting pretty tired of it, and so we wanted to mix it up a little bit. We've moved those ornaments elsewhere. In fact, we've used very few ornaments from the Society's collection this year. We've brought in a lot of new items and have switched it up quite a bit, which is nice.
Excellent. So let's keep going. Let's take another look. We're here in this beautiful, unique round dining room where the decorations have some of the glass ornaments I can
Yes.
see. And what is the theme for this room, Mike?
Well, we've used a lot of the traditional figural glass ornaments in this room. This tree and the decorations in this room are called the colors of Christmas, which are appropriate because they're predominantly red, green, and gold. And the ornaments are primarily the glass figurals.
I see some of the ornaments on the tree that people generally look for.
Yes.
Krampus, that little mischief-making Christmas guy, and I see a pickle and the carrot, and the carrot means a special thing for me this year because I have a wedding coming up in my family. So next year I will be buying a carrot because they say that a carrot ornament is a perfect gift for a new bride.
Yes.
So all of your ornaments have some sort of significance, and I've gone online and I've looked in books and I've seen various meanings for the birds and the flowers, and it's wonderful.
It's interesting. The first ornaments, of course, were blown in Germany
Yes.
and made primarily for the German market or export to the United States. And the earliest ornaments do all have a legend behind them.
Yes.
The reason the carrot was so popular in Germany, it was given to a new bride, and it was supposed to bring good luck in the kitchen. For whatever reason, it came to symbolize that. So the pickle, Krampus, certainly a majority of those early ornaments do have some symbolism behind them.
Yeah, my son does live in Germany,
Yeah.
and I know a lot about Krampus because I've heard from him how Krampus is in parades, Christmas parades in
definitely.
Germany, and actually comes out into the crowd, grabs kids,
Yes.
puts them over his shoulder, goes
carries them
running,
away,
and
exactly.
carries them away, and the kids are screaming, but
Of course.
good-natured
But it's a
screaming,
good-natured
of course.
scream.
But it's a much different culture. You know, I think if we had a Krampus
It
here
is.
at the Christmas parade in Fall River, that
People wouldn't know what
would
to make of it. You know, I think
not know what's going on.
A couple of years ago, the Historical Society sort of introduced Krampus to the
Yes.
Fall River area, and we did a Krampus tree. And people didn't quite get it when actually it's a very old tradition, German, the Low Countries. He's known as Black Pete in Holland, for example. So the Krampus story is an interesting one, and it was the concept of good versus evil.
Sure,
So
sure.
it's when it's explained, it makes a lot of sense.
Of course, Santa got blamed for coal in the stocking,
Exactly,
and it wasn't.
and Krampus had a lot more to do with
he had
that.
more
exactly.
to do with that
exactly.
than Santa did.
He did.
He's
He did.
Santa's getting a bad rap.
Exactly.
So also in this room, things are decorated en suite. Everything is matching and
Yes.
beautiful.
We've tried to carry the theme throughout in the room
Sure.
so that you can see the chandelier's been done on the sideboard. And it's really opulent, a little more in the Victorian style perhaps in this room. The table will be set.
yes,
Of course,
I
the
can
staging is
imagine.
the last thing that we do in
Yes.
these rooms. So.
So what you're seeing, folks, is not the completed project here. When you do come in, the table will be set, and people will be saying, "Oh, is that real food? Can I
Exactly.
eat that?" But you wouldn't
Exactly.
want to eat it because it's treated.
It's treated, but it is real food. So,
It is real food,
But
and-
after what we do to it, you really wouldn't want to eat it. However, I will say that every year we do lose a number of pieces because people do
Oh my goodness.
partake. So, despite the fact that we tell them not to.
Yes, and it's probably not good for them. They have
Well,
something in them that's
We
not.
tell them not to, so that's their problem, not ours.
And people again walk in this room and ooh and ah.
They do,
and, oh,
because the
it's
room is
just-
so unusual. I mean,
It
it's
is
the
so
only
unusual,
round.
number one,
Exactly,
yes.
it is a round room.
And also the food, I think, really strikes them, and the decorations. It's just
Right.
like,
One of the things that we try to do here is we like to do the rooms so that it appears as if an occupant had just recently left.
Yes.
So that everything that we use is real and it's taken to a particular level. So we do go to the extreme with a lot of the details, which you don't often see in a lot of historic homes.
I know generally you have a bottle of sherry out, and
Yes.
the most frequent question that I hear as a tour guide here is there wine in that bottle? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I say, well, yes, there is a little bit, but it's
Right,
not
right.
for
And
you to drink.
oftentimes in the decanters, we will have actual liquor in the decanters simply because if someone were to lift the stopper, even though they shouldn't, at least they would have the odor of actual liquor. So we try to keep it all at that level.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So we have the colors of Christmas in this room. Just lovely. Let's see what else is going on. Things are pretty much in process here, so when you do come in to visit the society, you'll see all of these beautiful decorations shining and glowing and twinkling brightly. BMC Durfee is dressed to the nines, ready to celebrate the Christmas season. Last year, the Historical Society introduced an upside-down Christmas tree, and patrons here were actually awed when they came in and saw an upside-down tree. Well, they've used the upside-down tree again this year with a whole new theme, and the theme involves Santa. So, Michael, tell us about this year's version of the upside-down Christmas tree.
Well, last year we did our first upside-down Christmas tree, and this year we thought we would do another because there aren't many people or many organizations in the area doing upside-down trees. So this year we went in a completely different direction, and it is a silver-white tree, so it has sort of a frosted effect. But this year we thought we would talk about the transition from Father Christmas to Santa Claus. So all of the ornaments, all of the decorations on the tree are figural or were made in the Victorian manner to represent either Father Christmas or Santa.
It's just beautiful. I noticed the old-fashioned cones on the tree. Are those something that you had made, or did you?
We did. Traditionally in the 19th century, cornucopia would be hung on a Christmas tree, and they'd be filled with sweetmeats and various candies and things, and perhaps small toys. But it's difficult to find a good quality cornucopia that's ready-made. So we have a woman in Minnesota, actually, who makes them for us, and she did some for us last year, and we commissioned her this year to do a series with Father Christmas on them.
So you could stand here and see the whole history of Santa / Father Christmas / Saint Nick. If
you really could. And what we do is there's a placard that we place next to each tree explaining the decorations and the whole thought process behind it. And it was interesting. We started doing that 2 years ago, and it amazes me that people actually read that material. I mean, they do take away something, which is very nice.
Well, last year I know that the question that everybody asked was, is this suspended from the ceiling? Is this tree suspended from the ceiling? And I would tell the little kids, no, it's magic, but what is the real way that this is held up?
It's actually held up the same as any other Christmas tree would be. I mean, there is a traditional Christmas tree stand, but the tree is just done in reverse. And it's interesting because an upside-down tree is not a particularly modern concept. It's a very ancient concept. And it goes back to early Christianity, because the pagans, of course, worshipped a fir tree, because a fir tree they believed had magical properties because it didn't die off in the winter. Early days of Christianity, of course, they took many of the pagan traditions and they sort of made them Christian traditions. They switched things around a bit. So in early Christian households, they would take in the winter a fir tree, but they would put it upside down. The 3 points represented the Trinity, and the fact that they put it upside down was to demonstrate that they were Christians and not pagans. So it's an interesting sort of story.
Very interesting, and it carries over to this day.
It does, it does.
You're bringing something to life that people don't know about, and it's a teaching tool.
It is, it definitely is.
And a tool of enjoyment for people.
Exactly, and when people come in, the house has sort of a magical kind of mystical quality, I think, especially during the holidays. The decorations are spectacular, and the house is such a beautiful house anyway. So when people come in, we often hear things like, oh, it's like stepping back in time. So that's what makes it so nice.
And people wonder if you have professional decorators come in, but you are it, right?
We don't. We have a small crew that we work with, Dennis Burnett and Kathy Crone, and we have a couple of volunteers who come in, but we try to keep them at a very, very high level. And we have lots of people who said, oh, I'd love to come and help you decorate, but I'm not very good at it. And that's great, and we appreciate it. However, we do try to keep them at a certain level, what we like to call a competition level. And we try to give people something that they're not going to find anywhere else. And I've been to some of the other attractions in the area that do sort of spectacular Christmas events, and I have to say I think that our trees are certainly on par or maybe above what one's apt to see. And I think that is because of the attention to detail that goes into them.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to head out to the gift shop now, and we're going to meet up with Diane Booten, who's going to show us all of the goodies and treats and wonderful things that you have for sale this year.
Great. Enjoy.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until the
No secret that will make you smile.
reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this dangerous, but they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
I'm here now with Diane Booten, who's going to tell us a little bit about the amazing shopping here at the Historical Society.
At our new museum gift shop and boutique, we have a little bit of everything for everyone. We have 3 floors of shopping, and in the room that you're in right now, we have a variety of scarves, nightgowns, housecoats, shawls, very customized umbrellas. And as you go down the stairs, you're going to be greeted with a room that has 350 Christmas ornaments and good old McCour's candy that everybody has fond memories of.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get in there. It's going to smell so good.
Yes, it is.
So you have some very unique items here. It looks like things that you can't find many places. Is that right?
That is absolutely true. If you can't find a gift for someone in here, then you're never going to find a gift for them. We have umbrellas that have a particular design on the inside and then something on the outside. We have jewelry of every kind of that would suit every conceivable taste and price range.
I have some earrings from the Historical Society, my reindeer earrings. And is
And
that piece
this piece
from
is
here?
also from our downstairs jewelry boutique.
Well, to be quite honest with you, whenever I wear something that I've purchased, jewelry-wise, people always ask me, where did you get that?
Exactly, because it's not something you're going to see coming and going.
Yes. We're standing here in front of all these amazing hand-blown glass ornaments, and we had mentioned, Michael had, about many of the having significance or tradition that goes with it. And I see that you're holding the pickle. What is the tradition of the pickle?
The tradition of the Christmas pickle is you hide the pickle in the Christmas tree, and the child that finds the pickle gets to have an extra present for Christmas time.
I think it's after they go to bed, right, on Christmas Eve, and the whole thing is about patience, really, that story, because everybody grabs for their gifts on Christmas morning, except for the patient child who scours that tree looking for
That's
the pickle.
right.
And usually they get an extra gift for that.
They do. They do. So it's a way to keep them busy, too.
So we have so many unique items in here. This room brings a smile to my face. There are so many elves and books and
Yes.
ornaments and, little doodads. And I have to say, I have never seen this.
No.
What is this?
If you look at the Christmas tree that we have set up here, it's a way to make the children think that an elf actually kind of tumbled into the Christmas tree and got stuck. We have the elf leg, and we also have a Santa leg.
Oh, no.
That's on the same thing, so it's just a little comical idea, but we do have a lot of hand-blown bird ornaments along with the 350 Christmas ornaments that we have here, and some very unique Christmas items for like baby's first Christmas, the elf little bib set that we have here for baby's first Christmas. So we have a little bit of everything for every occasion.
This room makes me smile.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So we have keys for Santa, customized Christmas stories, just a little bit of everything.
It's true, you need the keys if there's no fireplace. How does
That's
Santa get
right.
in? You need the keys, folks. You need the keys. Come here for your Santa keys. I wish the idea of smell-o-vision had come into play, because if you could smell how beautiful it smells in here with all this candy, oh my goodness. Diane was just saying she gains weight every time she walks in this room because it smells so good. This is the McCour's and old-fashioned candy room. So you tell us a little bit about the McCour's candy in case anyone doesn't know?
The McCour's candy is actually a Fall River tradition. Many of us that grew up in Fall River are very familiar with shopping at McCour's department store, especially visiting the candy department. And we have the chocolate nonpareils, which were always the staple of every Fall River diet. And it's always the first one to go, so if you're a nonpareil fan, you need to come in here early. Another big tradition we have is the peppermint pig, which is another family classic, and you crack the pig. Everybody takes a piece of the pig, and it gives you good luck and prosperity for the following year. The other thing we also have in the room are some very customized dips for dessert, for cheese ball, and that's always a very popular item for people at the holidays.
It's wonderful. There's also an assortment of cookbooks and hot pads and old-fashioned little things. Where are you going to find Turkish taffy? I remember being a child and smacking the Turkish taffy and
then we also have
oh
the
no!
clothes for the bad child.
Oh no! There are no bad children. Little naughty boys and
Naughty
girls.
boys and girls. You're right. So they get the cold.
So come in here, come visit, and don't come on an empty stomach.
That's right.
This is the kitchen of the building, the former beautiful house, which now serves as the main gift shop. And here you will find such exquisite pieces of jewelry and some imported decorations and ornaments, some gorgeous things here, so many things, some jams and jellies and the umbrellas. It's just fascinating. So anything in particular you'd like to point out here, Diane?
The jewelry. We have some very exceptional pieces of jewelry here for all different price range. We also have some hand-carved Russian ornaments, different little pieces of clothes, the Russian nesting dolls, and even jewelry for men.
Excellent. So this would be more, if someone's looking for that a little more expensive, higher end gift, this would be their stop.
Absolutely.
It's just gorgeous. Now, do you do any of the buying, or who does the buying and purchasing?
Michael Martins and Dennis Burnett make all the big decisions as to what goes into the shop. They're the ones that.
So they go to different shows
yes,
or to different
they
vendors?
do. They
and
do go to
such?
different vendors, different shows in different parts of southeastern Massachusetts and New York, and they pick from there things that you would not find
Yes.
at other gift shops and
Yes.
boutiques.
That's what I always am so amazed. It is so unique here that you can
Yes.
actually, as you said, if you can't find something here, you're not going to find it.
Exactly.
And you may find something that you didn't even know
That you wanted.
because
Exactly.
it's just so unique. You walk in here and say, "Look at that!" You're just amazed at things. And there are a lot of Fall River items as well.
There are.
Christmas in Fall River, little dish towels and such. And there's lots of food. You can get the proverbial fruit cake here, maybe, or rum cake, right?
Rum cake, fruit cake, good old brown bread, which everybody has their own custom recipe for. Then we have the full line of jams and jellies with good old Auntie Easton's name on it. And then we have some very one-of-a-kind peanuts that people tend to stock up on to ration out during the course of the holiday.
So thank you very much, Diane. So I encourage you all to come down here and get a large dose actually, of Christmas spirit. Spend some money, support your local historical society. They do so many things for you. Their open house runs from November 22nd right until the end of the year. It's free. We do hope you'll leave a donation, though, to support them. And just come, buy a nice gift, enjoy the decorations, put some Christmas spirit into your heart. This is Maryann for Out and About. Cheers.